Eric Walters didn't believe in ghost stories. Not until that winter night on the O'Donnell overpass, a narrow bridge buried in the woods just outside Fairfield, Ohio. Locals called it the Screaming Bridge, though nobody ever said why. When people mentioned it, they spoke softer, like the name itself carried something heavy. Eric and his friend Mason were chasing footage for their small YouTube channel. Urban legends, abandoned places, late-night explorations. It was supposed to be just another video, but the air around that bridge didn't feel like any other place. The closer they got, the quieter everything became. Not peaceful quiet, but a hollow, unnatural stillness that pressed against their ears. Their car headlights cut through the mist as the road narrowed, turning into an old iron bridge framed by leafless trees. The guardrails were rusted, scarred with graffiti and initials no one would ever remember. "You sure this is it?" Mason asked. Eric nodded. The bridge looked smaller than in the photos, but somehow heavier, like it carried years of silence that didn't want to be disturbed. When Eric stepped out, his shoes echoed on the metal grating. That single sound carried too far, bouncing through the night. Mason stayed by the car. 5 minutes, he muttered. "Then we're done." Eric smiled but didn't answer. He was already listening to nothing, and that was the problem. The fog thickened around them, dulling every sound but their own breathing. Eric set his camera on the hood, letting it record. "Locals say engines cut out here," he whispered into the mic. "We're testing that theory." He turned the key off. The hum of the car died instantly, swallowed by the dark. For a moment, everything was still, until a faint ping echoed from beneath the bridge, like a droplet hitting metal. Then another. Mason frowned. "Probably the river," he said, though his voice sounded thin. Eric leaned over the railing. The water below was black, glassy, unmoving. The sound came again, not from below this time, but from somewhere behind them. A slow, rhythmic tap. Metal against metal. Tap, tap, tap. Mason swung the flashlight around, catching the far end of the bridge in the beam. Nothing there. The fog made it impossible to see more than 20 feet ahead. "Might be wind," Eric said, though there was none. He turned the camera slightly and froze. The bridge railing was trembling, not shaking wildly, just the faintest vibration, like something large was moving far below. Mason noticed it too. "You feel that?" he whispered. The steel beneath their feet groaned, a deep, bending sound that vibrated up through their legs. "Maybe we should," Mason started, but stopped mid-sentence. From somewhere deep in the fog ahead came a sound that didn't belong to the night. It wasn't a voice, and it wasn't wind. It was a breath. Slow, wet, close. Eric's camera flickered, once, then again, and died. "Batteries gone," he muttered, though it had been fully charged. Mason's flashlight dimmed to a faint cone. The fog around them seemed to move now, thick and restless. Then came another sound, faint but rising. A low hum, almost mechanical, but layered with something else beneath it. A whine, a pitch, then a tremor that made the railings rattle. Mason took a step back. "Let's go, I'm serious." Eric didn't move. He was staring toward the center of the bridge, where the fog glowed faintly pale, like light refracted through water. "You see that?" he whispered. Mason saw it too, a shimmer, floating low, pulsing once, twice, then gone. The air turned colder. They hurried to the car. The doors slammed shut. but the sound felt muffled, wrong, like it couldn't travel. Mason jammed the key in the ignition. Nothing. The engine clicked but didn't start. Again, nothing. Eric reached for his phone. No signal. The temperature inside the car dropped fast enough to fog the glass. Then they heard it. The tap, tap, tap again, only this time directly above them. Mason looked up at the roof. Something scraped across the metal, slow and deliberate. Then, from outside the windshield, a faint handprint appeared in the condensation. Small, wet, and upside down. Mason started screaming. The lights burst back on. He slammed the gas. The car tore off the bridge, fishtailing through the fog. Neither of them spoke the entire ride home. By morning, Eric found muddy streaks across the roof and windshield. Thin, parallel lines like fingers dragged through water. He deleted the footage without watching it. That night, his phone buzzed at 12:03 a.m. No caller ID, just static. And beneath the static, something faint. A scream, distant at first, then closer, sharper. He dropped the phone. The sound didn't stop. It came from outside the window now. Not one scream, but many, echoing through the dark like metal twisting underwater. And then just as suddenly, silence. Eric turned off the light, sat back on his bed, and waited. Outside, somewhere near the tree line, a faint tapping began. Tap, tap, tap.